Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the House State Government Committee meeting to order. Ms. Sonia, would you please take the roll?
Chair Hill Evans,
Here.
Representatives Boyd,
By designation.
Brennan, Davidson,
Designation. Oh, okay.
Green,
Designation.
Genst,
Is she online? I believe she's joining us online. So designation,
Howard, Inglis,
designation,
Kenyatta,
designation,
Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman,
designation,
Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
Here.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
Designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
Designation.
Shalaba,
Designation.
Schaefer,
Designation.
Walsh, Weeknecht. Chair, we have a quorum.
Okay, and I would like to note that we have been joined by Representatives Boyd and Schusterman. Having established the presence of a quorum, the committee is in order to proceed with business. First up is House Bill 1139, Representative Warren, and this bill, Nick, please read a summary of the bill.
House Bill 1139 by Representative Warren requires that a water bottle filling station be installed where a drinking fountain is required to be installed in each new building or structure owned by the Commonwealth or each building or structure of the Commonwealth that undergoes a major improvement involving plumbing or pipe fitting. There is one amendment, A00699, which adds to the definition of water bottle filling station that it incorporates a third-party certified water filter certified to NSF ANSI 53 standards for lead reduction.
And I'll be offering the amendment. Will the committee agree to the amendment? Are there any questions or concerns around the amendment? Chair Roy. Anyone else? Hearing none. All in favor of Amendment A00699, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, so the amendment is agreed to. And so now we're on to report the bill. Are there any? Okay, so the chair recognizes Chair Roy for a comment on the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think it's a well-intended bill, but it's not really necessary. I don't think there's anything in current law that would ban DGS from having these water fountains that make it easy to fill water bottles. We toured the new State Archives building a year or two back, and the water fountains were all of that type. When you walk into any newly remodeled state office building, they always have that kind of water fountain. And I don't think DGS would ban that kind of water bottle drinking fountain. So I don't think this is necessary. So I'm going to be voting no. Thank you.
Are there any other concerns or discussions around the bill as amended? Okay, hearing none. Those in favor of reporting the bill will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Ms. Sonia, will you please call the roll? Aye. Yes.
Representatives Boyd, Brennan, Davidson, Green,
Designation yes.
Genst,
Designation yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta,
Designation yes.
Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman, Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
No.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
No by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
No by designation.
Shalaba,
No by designation.
Schaefer,
No by designation.
Walsh, Weaknecht. Motion passes.
And the bill will be reported. Thank you. Next is House Bill 1278 by Representative Davidson. Nick, please read a summary of the bill.
House Bill 1278 by Representative Davidson replaces the requirement for a candidate to submit a notarized affidavit with an unsworn statement, which would remain subject to penalties for perjury. There is currently an unsworn statement already allowed. This would replace that notary requirement with only the unsworn statement.
Okay, the chair recognizes Representative Davidson. Would you like to speak on your bill?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this is a pretty simple concept to replace the notary requirement with an unsworn statement like we have been doing in practice in the Commonwealth for many years since the COVID pandemic. You know, and more broadly, for me, this is a bill about reducing barriers to access to the ballot. You know, in our Commonwealth, we should really be encouraging more people to participate in our electoral process. And by removing barriers like this that really have no significant bearing, you know, the unsworn statement still has legal standing. So I think it's a pretty simple concept and something that allows more access to our ballots. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Chair Roy, any comments on the bill?
Oh, it's a good bill. I support it.
Okay, are there any other comments or discussion on the bill? Those in favor of House Bill 1278 by Representative Davidson will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no. Are there any negative comments other than the phone? Are there any are there any negative votes on the bill? Okay, seeing none, the bill will be reported. Thank you. And House Bill 1375 by Representative Miller is next. Nick, please read a summary of the bill. I'm sorry. Michael.
House Bill 1375 by Representative Miller amends the PSERS and SERS retirement codes to implement transparency recommendations from the Public Pension Management and Asset Investment Review Commission report, requiring clearer disclosure of fees, costs, and expenses associated with pension investments, while expanding access to board proceedings and performance metrics.
And we are joined by Representative Miller. Would you like to speak on your bill, sir?
Well, thank you, Chairman Hill Evans and Chairman Roy and members of the State Government Committee. I appreciate this opportunity to present before you. I will begin by saying that I turned my phone off, so I want to make sure that that wasn't a repeat here. But seriously, thank you so much for running this bill. This bill has run in this committee now. This will be the 5th time, and I think it's a good bill. It's been one that I've been working on for quite a few years, and I would respectfully at the start ask for your support. As was mentioned in the recap, basically what this bill does is it's about transparency. Transparency of the fees that go into our pension fund. And what the bill specifies, as you've looked at it, would specify certain requirements about what fees need to be reported and then records and that sort of thing, so that the public and the General Assembly can know what the fees are that are going into our pension fund. The goal of which, in my mind, is to make sure that the pension fund is as strong as it can be to meet the obligation for those who are depending on our pension fund. So this bill would require various elements as outlined in the bill to make sure that those fees are known so that we're not paying more to money managers, but that the fees are going into the fund. And so particularly I should specify related to alternative investments, hedge funds, real estate, private equity, that sort of thing. So I would respectfully ask for your support, and if you have any questions, I'm here to take your questions.
Chair Roy, do you have any comments on the bill?
No, other than it's a good bill, and I encourage a yes vote.
Are there any other questions, concerns, discussion on the bill? Are there any negative votes on House Bill 1375? Okay, seeing none, we will be reporting the bill from committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Next, we have House Bill 1806 by Representative Nelson. Nick, would you please give us a summary of the bill?
House Bill 1806 designates March 9th of each year as the 688th Central Postal Directory Battalion Day in the Commonwealth.
And this is a bill by Chair Nelson, and we are joined by Chair Nelson. Would you like to speak on your bill, please?
Please, thank you. Thank you so much, Chair Hill Evans, Chair Roy. This is a wonderful bill because it is well past due in our nation's history. It is appropriate that we bring this up now. It is certainly Black History Month, the 100th Black History Month that this nation has seen. But even more so, this is really appropriate given this 250th anniversary of our nation, and understanding all that is required to build and sustain a nation such as ours. 6888, as you will know through the resolution, through the language, was certainly a postal battalion that served during World War II. Their work was geared around the notion that if our soldiers don't get mail, morale is low. Morale is low, battles are lost, lives are lost. 6888, though, was effectively a wonderful assembly of 855 women, almost all Black women, who were assigned to go overseas into what was the greatest theater that this nation and this world really has known, to do this work. And when they came home, we had not recognized them. In fact, while they were there, while they were in service to this nation, they were not recognized. It's my pleasure to be joined by a constituent of mine, the retired Sergeant Dennis Miller, who is, again, retired Marine Corps. He is also the founder and president of the Greater Philadelphia Area Veterans Chamber of Commerce. He is a third in a long line, a third generation serviceman and his family. The first, his grandmother, is pictured here. And she was, this is Private Sylvia Armstrong. She served in the 6888 in England and in France, first of what is now 4 generations of servicemen in this family. This is how service began in this family. And I asked Sergeant Miller if his grandmother talked an awful lot about her service. And she said no. As many of you all with military families might appreciate, oftentimes our veterans don't talk an awful lot about their time in service. And she said she didn't talk an awful lot until he actually enlisted. And then the stories begin to pour out. And what he heard and what she commented so often was that yes, there was racism, yes, there was sexism, but the job had to be done. I can't imagine anything that is more appropriate, both as we commemorate Black History Month and this nation's 250th anniversary, that we understand our job that has to be done, which is to tell our stories, to acknowledge, the struggle and the pride that comes with generations and generations of service, both to this flag, to this nation, to the people that are American. Thank you so much, Sergeant Miller, and to your grandmother and the generations of Millers and so many others who have served. Last thing I'll end, and I know I'm well past time, it was always also a pleasure. Back on September 10th of last year, I was present and participated in a service to finally recognize, lay wreaths, and commemorate several of those folks who served in the 6888 at the Fort Indiantown Gap National Cemetery. These services now are being done when we are identifying those servicemen or those servicewomen throughout this country. And this legislation is also being worked on both in New Jersey, in Delaware, in Maryland, and hopefully right here in Pennsylvania. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you. And I too have met several of the families of those women who served in the 6888. So it is indeed an honor for me to have this in committee where we can have this discussion and have the opportunity to vote on such an important piece of legislation. Chair Roy, any comments or, okay. Are there any discussion, any comments on House Bill 1806? Yes, Representative Schusterman.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Thank you for bringing up this bill. As someone who studied history, it is so critical that we acknowledge all of the participants throughout history who have helped our country get to where it is. And so I look forward to voting yes on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Probst.
Yes, I want to thank the maker of the bill, and I think it's just important, you know, looking back and just like Rep. Schusterman, I mean, even with all of the education I have up until law school, there are so many things that I learned because of Black History Month that were never taught to me, never a story told about, not just the 6888, but even when the movie Hidden Figures came out. And there's so many inventions, and luckily I'm part of my local NAACP, NAACP, and I have learned so much through the last decade that I think that this is something that we definitely need to, you know, look in ourselves and say, what more don't we know? And I'm really proud to say yes to this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Sonia, will you please call the roll?
Chair Hill Evans.
Yes.
Representatives Boyd, Brennan, Davidson, Green,
Designation, yes.
Genst,
Designation, yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta,
Yes.
Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman, Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
Yes.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
Yes by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
Yes by designation.
Shalaba,
Yes by designation.
Schaefer,
Yes by designation.
Walsh, Weaknecht. The motion passes.
Thank you, and the bill will be reported. Next, we have House Resolution 56 by Representative Webster. Nick, would you please read a summary of the bill? Resolution, I'm sorry.
House Resolution 56 directs the Joint State Government Commission to conduct a study on the current utilization of poll workers, polling places, voting compartments, and voting machines to determine the best course of action in order to minimize the time investment required to vote and ensure that the average time required to vote does not promote inequalities based on geography, economic status, race, gender, or other relevant factors.
Okay, the question is, will the committee report the resolution? The chair recognizes Rep. Webster.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Just a brief summary. This is a resolution to do the research. As we realize, many of us with any experience in campaigns and voting procedures on voting day, that we don't have enough poll workers, that our county voting services administrations are sometimes tasked in different ways. And Pennsylvania has some limitations where we don't allow certain people to perform those roles. So doing the research so that we then can come back together and say there are recommendations on the table, we should consider these things and create policies that enable us to make voting, safe, fast, appropriate, calculated and finally successful for democracy in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And that's all we ask. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Chair Roy.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Again, it's a well-intended thing, but I'm going to be a no vote. I think all of our county election boards, they all need more poll workers, and they all know where there's polling sites, where there's longer waiting times, but getting more poll workers to open up more polling places, that's a hard thing to do. I think they already know. I think there's some kind of thing where county workers can't be poll workers. They can be emergency poll workers, I think, but just simple things. I think in a 5-minute conversation with county election directors, we could figure out what could be done to make it easier to get more poll workers. And I don't know how many different things the Joint State Government Commission has time to study, but I just don't think it's a worthwhile thing to do. So I'll be voting no. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Representative Diamond?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't think this is a bad idea to figure this out. I don't think, I agree with Chairman Roy's comments about misplacement. Our counties do have the power to actually take care of this on their own right now. My real objection here, though, is avoiding the body that the General Assembly created, I believe it was in late 2020, that is actually designed to actually look at this stuff, and that's the Election Law Advisory Board. The Election Law Advisory Board, it does fall under the Joint State Government Commission, and I happen to be a member of it. But I think that this would be better placed with the Election Law Advisory Board, which is a bipartisan, and you'd be surprised, knowing where I come from in my political beliefs, at how much agreement we can find with people way on the other side of the aisle from me. And I think that's a better place to assign this. So I'll be voting no on this. But I do want to add that there is a little issue with the Election Law Advisory Board right now, in that our governor, who just spent an hour and a half telling us how he gets stuff done, he has failed to fill 7 appointments on the Election Law Advisory Board. And that's going on 3 years now. And it makes it practically impossible for the Election Law Advisory Board, which this General Assembly created to study these sort of things and discuss these things and hash them out and make suggestions to the General Assembly about what laws we should pass. He's failed to make those appointments. So I'm going to be a no vote on this, but I am going to ask the prime sponsor to consider an amendment on the floor that would assign this to Election Law Advisory Board, at which point I would be in favor of the bill. And maybe that will encourage the governor to actually make those appointments. And maybe, if you know him better than I do, maybe you can call him and say, make those 7 appointments so the Election Law Advisory Board can meet. I've called him on other issues. He just doesn't return my call. So maybe you would have better luck. But if you would consider an amendment on the floor to assign this to the Election Law Advisory Board, I would certainly be in favor of this study. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Certainly. Would you like to respond?
Yes, thank you, Chairman, for the moment to respond. And Representative Diamond, we certainly should have that discussion in more detail, because I certainly have no reason to be opposed at this point.
Those in favor of, are there any other comments or questions or discussions around this bill, this resolution? Okay, those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Ms. Sonia, would you please call the roll?
Chair Hill Evans,
Yes.
Representatives Boyd,
Designation, yes.
Brennan, Davidson,
Designation, yes.
Green,
Designation, yes.
Genst,
Designation, yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta,
Yes.
Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation, yes.
Waxman, Webster,
Yes.
Chair Roy,
No.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
No by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
No by designation.
Shalaba,
No by designation.
Schaefer,
No by designation.
Walsh, Weaknecht. The motion passes.
Thank you, and the resolution will be reported. House Resolution 384 by Chair Solomon. Nick, please.
House Resolution 384 by Chair Solomon directs the Joint State Government Commission to conduct a study and issue a report regarding the feasibility of implementing both a statewide ballot rotation system and a precinct ballot rotation system for the order of listing candidates on ballots in primary and general elections and for each type of office.
Will the committee report the resolution? Chair recognizes Chairman Solomon.
Chair Hill Evans and Chair Roy, thank you so much for bringing this resolution up. I really appreciate it. So, as Nick mentioned, this would study how we order candidates on the ballot. Now, if you've ever seen it done currently, it's quite the scene. If you go to the Department of State, they have tiles, and you put your hand into a bag and you pull out your tile to see whether you're going to be first, second, or third, depending on how many candidates. In my city of Philadelphia, we have a Horn and Harditz can, a coffee can, where we dip our hand in and pull out a number. Now, this does make for a lot of palace intrigue, a lot of hoots and hollers and oohs and ahs. And I must say, I believe the Horn and Harditz can actually has a Twitter account, and that's fun. But does this really have consequences for candidates? It does. And studies have shown, just to remove us out of our Commonwealth, and if we look at a state like Texas with many more counties than we have, about 255, a candidate that is placed second, third, or fourth can face a decrease of 10 percentage points in a low information race. So our judicial races, for instance, 10 points because you're not number one on the ballot. That is significant. And I don't think that we should be electing our office holders based on ballot position. Other states like Texas and Florida and West Virginia have taken action. They have moved either to a randomization or a ballot rotation method. I'm not choosing sides on any of it. I'm just saying, let's take a look at it. And if we can find a better way forward that will decrease the advantage that number one ballot position has in our Commonwealth, it's a good thing for us here in Pennsylvania. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. By the way, we use a potato chip can. Just is what it is, right? Okay, so do you have any comments? Yes, Chair Roy.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to be a no vote. Right now, our counties already have to do 4 elections a year. Most of you are thinking, well, I thought there's 2 elections a year, the primary and the general. Well, they have to do a mail-in primary, then an election day primary, a mail-in general, and an election day general. There's a lot on their plates already. There's still a lot of questions about mail-in ballot curing and dates on ballots, and there's just our counties are overwhelmed with a lot of this election stuff, and I just don't think we should be throwing more curveballs into the mix. If you combine this with open primaries, which has been talked about in this committee, I mean, there'd be so many different variations of ballots. It's just not going to be feasible, I don't think. So I'm going to urge a no vote. Thank you.
Okay. Chair Diamond?
Thank you, Madam Chair. On this resolution, I'm going to repeat I won't repeat my argument that I made on the last resolution, but I'm going to ask the prime sponsor the same thing, to consider an amendment on the floor to assign this to the Election Law Advisory Board, which I think is a more proper placement of this. However, on the substance of the study itself, when you talk about randomization, rotation, I am not sure what the breakdown is county by county in Pennsylvania, but there are a lot of counties who actually print paper ballots that the voter fills in by themselves, you know, with a number 2 pencil or a black pen, you know what I mean? And if you have 2 different candidates in a race, you're going to have to print 2 different ballots, already multiplying by 2 the amount of ballots county is going to have to design, proof, and mail to the right person. If you have 3 candidates in a race, now you're going to have how many different combinations? It's not going to be 3. It's going to be 5. If you have 4 different candidates in a race, now it's that little number with the exclamation point after it, which means exponentially more potential possibilities of randomization or rotation. Now, throw in, you don't just have one race with 4 candidates. You have 2 different races on a particular ballot in a particular precinct with 4 different races. Are they going to be randomized? My point here is that I believe any travel down this road towards rotation or randomization is going to take us away from the practice of actually printing ballots that voters fill in themselves, which they can look at and say, yes, I cast my vote for Donald Trump or Joe Biden or whomever I chose, and I stick it in the machine to count it, as opposed to the machine entry where you hit a button or hit a screen or something, then it prints out this little card that maybe you can't read to make sure that your vote is being cast for the person you think it is. I think that any kind of randomization, because it does move us away from the practical ability to print ballots, is probably not the right way to go, because I think that's the most secure way of making sure that votes that are cast are counted properly, so we can look at that ballot afterwards without having to have a key code or something like that. And I think we ought to be moving away from machine entry to print your ballot and back towards where the voter is actually marking the ballot by hand, because I think that's the best way to secure our election. So I'm going to be voting no on this, but I will consider voting yes on it if you consider an amendment to assign this to the Election Law Advisory Board. Thank you.
I'd like to respond, sir.
This is a study. This is only a study. So all of your comments would be core to a study of staffing concerns, what other states do, how they do it, implementation. In fact, that's detailed in the resolution to consider all those factors, and then we would come back, delve into the study, debate and deliberate if we want to adopt any of the recommendations or none of the recommendations. I must say that I don't believe there is something magical in Florida, Texas, and West Virginia. How do these other states do all of these things? I believe that the folks on the ground who are working in our election offices are highly competent, and if we give them the tools, then they will move forward and execute. Again, this is simply a study to see whether we want to move in this direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Waxman?
Thank you, and thank you for the maker of the bill for bringing this up. I just wanted to voice, just to kind of voice my support for this. It is just a study. Certainly, those who are not familiar with Philadelphia elections may not be aware of what a big issue this is, but ballot randomization is actually a huge factor in making things more fair, having us an even playing field. There's just a lot of decisions that get made sometimes around Philadelphia elections that are about ballot position, which is an insane way to decide something as important as a judge or any other elected official. And we're not talking about ballots that have 2 or 3 candidates. We're talking about ballots that can have upward of 20 candidates. I always have to remind my colleagues, Philadelphia is a big place. We do things a little bit differently in the city of the first class than in other parts of the Commonwealth, and that's simply because our elections are bigger. We have more voters. We have more candidates. It's all much, much more complicated. And so that's why I think this study is a great first step so that we can really do the research that is required to make sure that Philadelphia and other cities or other parts of the Commonwealth that have these kinds of issues with ballot order and the randomization of ballots can find out what the best path forward is. Not implement something right away, not force something on the rest of the state, but have a study done. That's what the Joint Commission exists to do, and I'm looking forward to voting for the bill.
Any other comments, questions, or concerns? Those in favor of reporting the resolution will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Ms. Sonia, please call the roll.
Chair Hill Evans,
Yes.
Representatives Boyd,
Designation, yes.
Brennan, Davidson,
Designation, yes.
Green,
Designation, yes.
Genst,
Designation, yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta,
Absolutely, yes.
Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation, yes.
Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
No.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
No by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
No by designation.
Shalaba,
No by designation.
Schaefer,
No by designation.
Walsh, Weeknecht. Motion passes.
Thank you, and the resolution will be reported. Thank you, Chair. Chair calls up House Resolution 390. Nick, please read a summary of the resolution.
House Resolution 390 by Chairwoman Hill Evans recognizes the month of March 2026 as Women's History Month in Pennsylvania.
Is there any discussion on the resolution? Will the committee report the resolution? Are there any negative votes on the resolution? Okay. Those in favor of reporting the resolution will vote aye. Those opposed vote no. Ms. Sonia, please call the roll.
Chair Hill Evans,
Yes.
Representatives Boyd,
Designation, yes.
Brennan, Davidson,
Designation, yes.
Green,
Designation, yes.
Genst,
Designation, yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta, Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation, yes.
Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
Yes.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
Yes by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
Yes by designation.
Shalaba,
Yes by designation.
Schaefer,
Yes by designation.
Walsh, Weeknecht. The motion passes.
And the resolution will be reported. Thank you. House Resolution 391 by Representative Waxman. Nick, please read a summary of the resolution.
House Resolution 391 by Representative Waxman recognizes January 27th of 2026 as International Holocaust Remembrance Day in Pennsylvania.
Will the committee report the resolution? Rep. Waxman, would you like to speak on your resolution?
Thank you. I just want to thank the chair for calling this up. I am aware that we are recognizing January 27th, and it is beyond that date. Unfortunately, we did have a snowstorm that prevented us from meeting, so I'm just grateful for the chair for considering the resolution on this date.
Yes, and thank you for mentioning that. I do remind everyone that if you want to designate a holiday or a remembrance, that you get it to us so that we are not doing it in behind. I understand the snowstorm, and that was why the consideration. So just for a future, thank you very much. Is there any other discussion? Chair Roy? Any noes on the resolution? Okay. All right. Those in favor of reporting the resolution will vote yes. Those opposed vote no. Sonia, please call the roll.
Chair Hill Evans,
Yes.
Representatives Boyd,
Designation, yes.
Brennan, Davidson,
Designation, yes.
Green,
Designation, yes.
Genst,
Designation, yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta, Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation, yes.
Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
Yes.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
Yes by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
Yes by designation.
Shalaba,
Yes by designation.
Schaefer,
Yes by designation.
Walsh, Weeknecht. The motion passes.
And the resolution will be reported. Thank you. Chair calls up House Resolution 394 by Representative Carroll. Staff will read a summary of the resolution.
House Resolution 394 by Representative Carroll designates March 17th, 2026 as Bayard Rustin Day in Pennsylvania.
Will the committee report the resolution? Is there anyone to speak on behalf of Representative Carroll? Seeing none. Chair Roy? Any noes on the resolution? Okay. Those in favor of reporting the resolution will vote yes. Those opposed, no. Sonia, please call the roll.
Chair Hill Evans,
Yes.
Representatives Boyd,
Designation, yes.
Brennan, Davidson,
Designation, yes.
Green,
Designation, yes.
Genst,
Designation, yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta, Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation, yes.
Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
Yes.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
Yes by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
Yes by designation.
Shalaba,
Yes by designation.
Schaefer,
Yes by designation.
Walsh, Weeknecht. The motion passes.
And the resolution will be reported. Thank you. Next, the chair calls up House Resolution 406. Nick, please read a summary. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Could you
Microphone.
speak into the microphone, please?
I would just like to have my vote recorded as yes, if I may do so. Yes, I am. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, so we are at now House Resolution 406 by Representative Hill Evans. Please read a summary of the resolution.
House Resolution 406 by Chairwoman Hill Evans recognizes the month of March 2026 as National Social Work Month in Pennsylvania.
Question is, will the committee report the resolution? Is there any discussion on House Resolution 406? I will say, year after year, I have introduced this resolution. It's started off being very personal to me as my sister, who worked very hard because of some goings-on that was happening within our family. She had to have a way of being able to help, and so she made it her mission to first become a social worker. She has since become a doctor, but as a result of her dedication to wanting to help family members and others who were struggling with situations, she became a social worker. And so I'm always honored to be able to introduce this for each March as a resolution for Social Worker Month. Chair Roy. Are there any negatives? Any no votes on the resolution? Okay. Is there any other discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, those in favor of reporting the resolution will vote no, will vote yes. Those opposed will vote no. Sonia, please call the roll.
Chair Hill Evans,
Yes.
Representatives Boyd,
Designation, yes.
Brennan, Davidson,
Designation, yes.
Green,
Designation, yes.
Genst,
Designation, yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta, Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation, yes.
Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
Yes.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
Yes by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
Yes by designation.
Shalaba,
Yes by designation.
Schaefer,
Yes by designation.
Walsh, Weeknecht. The motion passes.
And the resolution will be reported. Thank you. Chair calls up House Resolution 409 by Chair Matzi. Staff will read a summary of the resolution.
House Resolution 409 by Representative Matzey designates March 8th, 2026 as Charter Day in Pennsylvania and celebrates his 345th birthday.
Okay. Will the committee report the resolution? Is there anyone here speaking on behalf of Resolution 409? Chair Roy, any comments? Any no votes? Okay. Those in favor of reporting the resolution will vote yes. Those opposed will vote no. Sonia, please call the roll.
Chair Hill Evans,
Yes.
Representatives Boyd,
Designation, yes.
Brennan,
Designation, yes.
Davidson,
Designation, yes.
Green,
Designation, yes.
Genst,
Designation, yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta, Probst, Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation, yes.
Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
Yes.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
Yes by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
Yes by designation.
Shalaba,
Yes by designation.
Schaefer,
Yes by designation.
Walsh, Weeknecht. The motion passes.
And the resolution will be reported. Thank you. Chair calls up House Resolution 413 by Representative Abney. Nick, please read a summary of the resolution.
House Resolution 413 by Representative Abney honors the pioneering paramedics, medical leaders, and community members from the Hill District that made the Freedom House ambulance service possible and acknowledges its lasting contributions to emergency medical services, workforce opportunity, and the health and dignity of communities across the Commonwealth and beyond.
And the question is, will the committee report the resolution? On behalf of Representative Abney, we have Representative Mays.
Thank you, Chair. We are both very well dressed, but I'm not Rep. Abney. But we do have the honor of both serving the people of the historic Hill District in the city of Pittsburgh. And so I'm honored to sit before you today to talk about the important history of the Freedom House Emergency Service. And before I do that, I want to thank Chair Hill Evans and Chair Roy for this opportunity, and also to wish you all a happy Black History Month. I share I want to share with you the importance of the idea, or I want you to think about if you had an emergency, if you needed medical service, what it would be like for you if you had to be transported to the hospital in a police car, or in a hearse. Those are the conditions in most places in this nation and in the Hill District of the city of Pittsburgh. There was no such thing as emergency medical service or this idea of an ambulance in its modern form. Freedom House Emergency Service was founded in Pittsburgh's Hill District in 1967. The mostly Black paramedics whose courage and skill and innovation transformed emergency medicine in the United States. To understand the significance of Freedom House, we must first understand the conditions that made it necessary in the first place. So in the 1960s, when a medical emergency occurred in Black neighborhoods like the Hill District, residents had very few options. Emergency transport was typically handled by the police, who were not medically trained to respond to these types of situations. Or the other option you had was for funeral home ambulance services that were designed to transport the dead, not to preserve life. There was no CPR, there was no oxygen, no cardiac monitoring, no trained medical intervention during transport. As a result, Black community members routinely died on their way to the hospital from the injuries and the medical emergencies that were survivable. This is not an accident. It was the consequence of systemic neglect and a healthcare infrastructure that did not serve our marginalized communities with urgency or with dignity. Freedom House Emergency Services was created to change that reality. In partnership with the University of Pittsburgh, which I'm also proud to represent, staffed by Black men and women from the community, from the Hill District, Freedom House partnered with these physicians to create something entirely new, a highly trained paramedic corps capable of delivering advanced medical care before the patient ever even reached the hospital. These paramedics stabilized patients in the field. They administered CPR, they managed airways, they performed cardiac monitoring, delivering life-saving medications and dramatically improving survival rates. What began as a response to racial inequality and racial injustice became a national medical breakthrough, one that we know today. The Freedom House model became the foundation of modern paramedic systems across the country, right in the community that I serve every single day. In fact, on my office building, there is a plaque honoring Freedom House Emergency Service. It's their training protocols that influence national standards. That began in the Hill District in Pittsburgh. Its impact reaches our community that relies on emergency medical services today. And yet, despite its success, Freedom House was defunded and dissolved in 1975. When emergency services were reorganized, many of those same paramedics who were saving lives, who built this life-saving system, they were denied the opportunity to continue to serve. Their work was absorbed, but their contributions went largely unrecognized for decades. This is why this resolution matters. Today, we honor not only the institution of Freedom House, but the people behind it. Some of them are still living in the Hill District and in the greater Pittsburgh region today. We want to honor them, the surviving Freedom House paramedics. We recognize their professionalism, their service, and their role as pioneers in modern emergency medicine. We acknowledge that their legacy is not abstract. Every time we hear the siren of an ambulance, we must think about Freedom House Emergency Services. Without them, without their ingenuity, without the vision, without the commitment to justice, we would not know emergency services as we do today. This is living history. This is living Black history. This is living Pennsylvania history. And it deserves formal recognition while they are still here to receive it. This resolution places into the official record that Black paramedics from the Hill District, the historic Hill District of Pittsburgh, help redefine what emergency medicine could and should be. It affirms that innovation, excellence, and leadership have always existed in our communities, even when systems failed to invest in them. I respectfully ask for an affirmative vote on this resolution, House Resolution 413. I thank the Freedom House paramedics, past and present, for saving lives and changing history. And thank you, Chair Hill Evans, for the opportunity to bring this history to the public.
Thank you. Chair Roy, any negative votes? Okay. Those in favor of reporting the resolution will vote yes. I am sorry. I did not see you. Oh. Okay. That's fine. All right. Those in favor of reporting the resolution will vote yes. Those opposed, no. Ms. Sonia, please call the roll.
Chair Hill Evans,
Yes.
Representatives Boyd,
Designation yes.
Brennan,
Designation yes.
Davidson,
Designation yes.
Green,
Designation yes.
Genst,
Designation yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta, Probst,
Designation yes.
Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation yes.
Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
Yes.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
Yes by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
Yes by designation.
Shalaba,
Yes by designation.
Schaefer,
Yes by designation.
Walsh, Weaknecht. The motion passes.
And the resolution will be reported. Thank you, Rep. Mays. At this time, the chair calls up Senate Bill 829 by Senator Dush. Staff will read a summary of the bill, please.
Senate Bill 829 by Senator Dush repeals and replaces the current state fossil and designates the Hypnerpeton basseti, and please excuse my pronunciation, as the official state fossil of the Commonwealth.
Will the committee report the bill with a recommendation to re-refer this to the Commerce Committee? Those in favor, would you like to
Yes.
speak? Yes, sir. Chair Roy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I guess the motion has been made to re-refer this to the Commerce Committee. Anybody that likes legislative trivia, this will be the third Senator Dush bill that has been re-referred to the Commerce Committee this session. Our committee here, we referred a Senator Dush bill to Commerce. The Intergovernmental Affairs re-referred a Senator Dush bill to Commerce. And now today, we're going to re-refer this Senator Dush bill to the Commerce Committee. I don't think we should be sending bills to a committee graveyard, just passing a bill to a different committee. I'm not sure what's going on, why all those bills keep getting re-referred, but I'm opposed to re-referring, and I'll be voting no.
Those in favor, are there any other comments or questions regarding Senate Bill 829? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was just wondering if we could have a reason why this bill is being re-referred to the Commerce Committee.
This was at the request of Chairman Conklin, is what I'm told.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. So those in favor of reporting Senate Bill 829 with a recommendation to re-refer will vote yes. Those opposed will vote no. Sonia, please call the roll.
Chair Hill Evans,
Yes.
Representatives Boyd,
Designation yes.
Brennan,
Designation yes.
Davidson,
Designation yes.
Green,
Designation yes.
Genst,
Designation yes.
Howard, Inglis, Kenyatta, Probst,
Designation yes.
Sanchez, Schusterman,
Designation yes.
Waxman, Webster, Chair Roy,
No.
Representatives Banta, Barger, Bonner, Brown,
No by designation.
Diamond, Fink, Kozak,
No by designation.
Shalaba,
No by designation.
Schaefer,
No by designation.
Walsh, Weaknecht. The motion passes.
And the bill will be reported with the recommendation to re-refer to the Commerce Committee. Seeing no further business, I move that the State Government Committee be adjourned. Thank you all for attending.